We are back with Embrace Life, and instead of just embracing life with me, today we are embracing life with Lourdes Health System. Dr. Kathleen Greatrex from Lourdes is here talking about breast health and breast cancer. And we were talking a little bit during the break about dense breasts. Can you talk to me a little bit about what that means and how that's different than other types of breasts?
Sure, absolutely. You know, New Jersey just passed a law that radiologists in their reports must put in there the knowledge about the density of the breast tissue on the mammogram. How dense is the breast tissue? What they found is that those women that have dense breasts have a 3 to 4 times likelihood of getting breast cancer. That's really important. Looking at a mammogram when the tissue is very dense is like looking through a snowstorm. It's really difficult to see masses. It's difficult to see calcifications. So we have to find other ways to evaluate these women so that we don't miss something.
Right.
So what we're advocating now is the use of ultrasound. Ultrasound can pick up about 27% more cancers if we didn't use it.
Actually, that was one of my questions. I was thinking about the idea of the ultrasound. Why is it that you do the mammogram before the ultrasound and only the ultrasound if something is wrong? Why does that, what is the order there? Why is that important?
Well, the important thing is that the ultrasound is going to pick up whether an area of abnormality seen on the mammogram is either going to be solid or cystic. If what we see is a cyst, and it fulfills the criteria of a cyst, we leave it alone unless the patient complains of pain. If we see a solid mass, then we have to go on further to find out exactly what that is. So the beauty about ultrasound and what's different about that from mammography is that it can help distinguish between a cystic area and a solid area.
Okay,
Now,
I
are
see.
cysts a bad thing? No.
Because they could be benign,
70% of all women,
not cancerous.
70% have fibrocystic changes of the breast.
Okay.
If you were in the mall and you looked at 10 women, 7 out of 10 of them will have these fibrocystic changes. That does not mean that it is a premalignant condition. All it means is that your body is responding to estrogen and progesterone. Now, if you're feeling these lumpy bumpies and they're not changing with your menstrual periods, in other words, they are staying the same or they're getting larger over time, that's when you should see your physician. But when you notice these areas in your breast that wax and wane every month with your menstrual cycle, that's very, very normal, not unusual. We see it all the time.
That's good information. And we cannot leave this segment, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail next segment, without talking about the importance of a mammogram.
It's everything. It really is. A screening mammogram is everything. And no other screening tool has been as successful in picking up lesions at a stage when we can treat it and we can cure it.
And it's not just important to have the self-exam. You have to have the mammogram.
You really need to have the mammogram because the mammogram is going to pick up things that a breast examination won't. Radiation dose is very, very small. You know, it's a little bit uncomfortable for some women, maybe not for others. I always recommend my patients come in the week after your menstrual period ends. That's the best time to come.
When your breasts aren't as tender.
They're the most quiescent. If you're postmenopausal, go the first Sunday, you know, or pick your birthday, or do your exam. Pick your birthday, in other words, for your mammogram. But for your breast exam, do it the first Sunday, you know, of the month, or whatever you should do every month to make sure that you remember to do it.
Well, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your hectic, busy, important schedule to come and be on the show to help women and men embrace life. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you, and I thank you for all your wisdom and your information. And we want to dedicate this show not only to Lourdes Health System, but also to your mother.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I lost my mother when I was a medical student at Temple, and she passed away at the age of 56 from breast cancer.
So she's smiling right now.
Yeah, I'm one of the people that have been touched by it, but we've survived it. My family has, and God bless me with this great work that I do at Lourdes.
Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Greatrex.
Thank you so much.
Now that we have talked about the diagnosis, treatment options, and latest diagnostic technology, Let's talk about how to take care of our breasts and possibly prevent health cancer if there is a possibility for that. Nurse navigator Christina Hunter will be here when we come back.